Mark, what does it mean to you to be a 1,000-yard rusher, especially at a school like this that had so many?
I mean, it's a good honor and everything. I just know I just got to keep pushing it and just keep getting better. Just try to achieve more goals and everything.
Mario, as Chip mentioned, you for over 1,000 yards in just 9 games. The last guy at UNC to do that faster was Gio Bernard in 2012. Is he someone you remember watching in college or in the pros, Giovanni Bernard?
Yeah, I remember watching him and everything. Yeah, he was a real good player and everything.
What does it mean to be in his company here where he's a bit of a local legend, really?
It's really amazing, just being able to just compare myself like to some of the top players and everything. So, I mean, it's a good feeling.
Can you take us through that 54-yard touchdown run? Just kind of, you got the ball. It looked like the hole was pretty big. How big was it, and what did you see, and when did you realize you were going to go untouched?
Yeah, really just the O-line, they did their thing all day, and then they just opened up the hole, and they just put me one-on-one with the safety. And if they put me one-on-one with the safety, it's my job to make a miss. So.
How about the 4-yard touchdown run, that was like a run scrum?
Yeah, that was my O-line too. I really just got like 4 or 5 yards, and then got stood up, and then O-line helped me push through the pile and everything.
You just feel like you picked up and carried in there?
Yeah, kind of like that, yeah.
Part of that had to be you, though, because there were at least 5 Campbell players that made pretty solid contact with you on that play. So some of it has to be you.
Yeah.
What is it about you that got in, too?
Really just keeping my feet moving and then not stopping until I hear a whistle, really.
How did it feel to get a breather for the first time? It's felt like in a while. It seems like you play, pretty much throughout the whole game and getting almost 30 carries, I guess. What was it like to just kind of fourth quarter, sit back, relax, kind of take some stuff off your legs kind of thing?
Yeah, it felt good because all the players got to play and everything. We got to see some young guys play and everything. So, I mean, it felt really good.
Marion, it's 4 straight 100-yard games for you. Like in high school, I know those numbers were kind of commonplace for you. Like, I mean, what kind of run did you go on in high school? It was pretty much every game a 100-yard game. What were those numbers that you remember from there?
From high school, I don't even remember my numbers from high school from the last time I played.
Okay. Like 200-yard games or something.
Marion, what was it like seeing Connor Harrell get in there at the end of the game? You guys came into UNC at the same time. What was it like watching him late in that game?
It was just real exciting just seeing him make that long run and everything, and then him being able to show his talent real. Because I feel like he got like a real good talent, and then so I feel like he's gonna be really good for us next year and everything.
How much did you work on ball security this offseason? Obviously, last year it seemed like some of the issues and the reasons why you got benched were some of the fumbles you had. And this year, I think you lead the country in rushes without a fumble so far. I guess what was kind of that emphasis like for you during the offseason, and how's that kind of played out this season?
Really just taking a big look on it and then trying to lock in on it to make sure that's the number one priority, just to take care of the ball, because that's the most important thing.
Did you change anything in terms of how you held the ball or anything mechanically that you saw from last year that you needed to fix going into this season?
Really you just got to be more aware of it, just kind of the thing. So it's just always make sure you take care of the ball no matter what.
You guys good with that?
Marion, have you done anything different or extra in terms of trying to preserve your body with all the carries that you've gotten this season and recently? I mean, has there been more cold tub stuff? Like, what are you doing during the week to try to heal and recover and be able to stay the course with this thing?
Yeah, making sure I'm just in the cold tub every day, hot tub every day, just getting in the training room all day, just getting recovery and everything so I can be the best player I can be Saturdays.
Is that a daily thing, or is there a certain day that you focus on that more than others? I mean,
no, I try to make it daily, really. Just try to get in there every day I can.
How long are you in there?
Probably like 15 to 20 minutes in the cold tub, and then get in the hot tub 15 minutes.
I think you said
doing other stuff.
That sometimes the soreness, you don't get rid of the soreness until about Friday. Is that right?
Yeah. It's really just Sunday I'm a little sore, and then throughout the week I'm just in the treatment room and everything, just getting rehab and everything. So.
All right. Thanks, Amari.
Appreciate it.
What's that last week? Had it between then and I guess Max said it was almost game time before you told him I'm good to go. Just what was that week like for you?
It's alright. I mean, I was in the training room all week. They was doing everything they could to make sure I was good. Told them about Thursday that my head was fine. It was just my ankle, really. So I was good the whole week, really.
How scary was it on the field? And on top, in addition to that, you go from that moment, where it was about 8 or 9 minutes when you're laying out there, you got teammates praying for you, today where you're catching a couple touchdown passes.
I mean, it was a little scarier, but then got in the hospital, told David it's part of the game. He got a clean shot on me. I knew I was going to be all right when I opened my eyes. So I knew I was fine.
Have you watched the play?
I did.
What'd you think about it? Because you didn't see the guy coming, obviously.
Yeah, turn, looked to my right, and before I can even look to the left, he got me. I say, it was a clean play. He made a big play for his team.
Did you open? You said when you opened your eyes. Like when did you open your eyes?
Honestly, I don't know. I took my helmet off. Next thing you know, I was looking up at Luke. I don't even remember what happened in between.
Okay, so on the field though.
Yeah.
Was the ankle you mentioned, was that a part of the play?
When I was looking at the video, I got in the hospital, I was wondering if my ankle was hurt, and I looked at the video, he kind of rolled up on my ankle as well.
You said you didn't sleep all night in the hospital. Was it because of the pain or what?
Nah, I was just up all night. Didn't really go to sleep.
Obviously, Max said you gave him the okay, like 2 minutes, or what he said, 2 minutes kind of before kickoff. Did you have a feeling, though, throughout the week that you would probably be ready to play, or was it really that last minute for you as well?
Like, my ankle was bothering me real bad all week. Like, I tried to push off of a release, like it was hurting. So, they took a couple meds, got taped up. I was fine in warm-up and pregame. So.
How much did you
Why
guys
did
need
you
it?
want to play today? Like this was one, like you're saying, you're coming off a huge hit. You got the ankle thing. Like you could sit this thing out and rest, get ready for the final 3 games. Like why did you want to play?
Yeah, I'm not too big on sitting out. Like if I can play, like I'm gonna go try to go full speed. So I mean sitting out. I mean that's off to me really trying to milk like players around, try to milk stuff or like try not to play on purpose to save themselves. And I'm just like, I mean if I can go, I'll go.
Did you guys, as a team, need this? Did you need to have a game where all the positive morale and mojo kind of went your way?
I'm sorry, can you repeat?
Did you guys as a team need a game like this? Some people say you shouldn't play an FCS team this time of year, but now that the game is in the books, did you guys kind of need to have this feel-good morale type game given the previous couple of weeks?
Yeah, I feel like we did coming off two hard fought losses. I feel like we needed a game like this to get some confidence back, especially with who we got next week and do. They come in and fire out, so we needed a game to give us some momentum back.
Tez, with Chris Culliver catching that long touchdown late in the fourth quarters, I mean, that seems like a route that you could have easily run or if it was earlier in the game. Does he remind you of a younger you at all?
It does. Coaches tell me that all the time as well, but he's gonna be real special. I saw that when he came in. He ran his first non-ball in camp. He's a real good player, and I'm very proud of him for that.
How have you seen Culliver kind of come along in practice? I know you mentioned kind of seeing him in camp, but I guess just how, the way that the season's progressed, Mac even said that, he's somebody that they kind of need to rely on a little bit more today. How have you seen him progress behind the scenes?
Yeah, I mean, he comes to practice. He keeps working every day. Galloway's on him, T. Scott's on him. He continue to go every day. Like, that route, those go routes, like he reps those all day, every day. So we knew it was going to come for him at some point.
What kind of advice do you give a player like him? Obviously, he's a young guy, you've been around the block. Like, what's some of the pieces of advice that you kind of give Chris Culliver?
I just tell him, like, listen, take the coach. And I was one of the players who wanted to be coached. So I just tell him, like, Coach Galloway, T telling him something, like, just take it all in, like, and tell him his time's going to come, and which it did. He probably didn't expect it to come. But I always tell him, like, stay ready because it's coming.
Doc Chapman last 3 games, had a big catch against Virginia, had the kickoff return catch last week. He had a 45-yarder today. Is that something you guys kind of see more and more from him in the last month, 6 weeks or so in practice, that he's starting to translate that to the field?
So, yeah, it definitely did. It started with him back in the spring. He's put in a lot of work to be a better version of himself. So to see him come out and make big plays, game in, game out, it's real special for him.
Tez, were you surprised on the second touchdown with how open you were?
I was, because my path that I was taking, I looked and seen the ball in there. I'm like, why are you throwing it at me? Well, I guess I'm open. I just turned and catch it. So that was really on Drake he threw me open. So that play was all on him.
Did you all confuse them? It seemed like they had several busts in coverage. You know what I mean? Like, was there some confusion that you all created for them, do you think?
I feel like it was. I mean, they probably expected some different things that we usually do, and we, made some adjustments in game. Drake was making a lot of checks at the line as well, so they probably was expecting something, and we ended up running something different. That probably threw them off.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Appreciate y'all.
So it's the kind of game, I guess, that everybody expected you guys to be as a team up against. Did you feel like you guys are back on track now, especially defensively, you get everything out of it that you want?
Yeah, I mean, I think that we did everything that we were supposed to do today. Playing against Campbell, a little bit lesser opponent, and we handled business like we should have. So definitely proud of us getting back on track and handling business today.
Cedric, what did you guys focus on?
Especially in regaining confidence.
Yeah, definitely getting some confidence back today.
What did you guys focus on this week in preparation for this game?
Yeah, I mean, just getting back to watching film, understanding what they're trying to run as a defense, as an offense. Like I mentioned before earlier in the week, tempo has been a problem for us. We knew that is something that they were going to try to attack. And I think we handled that pretty well today. We were able to get the calls in faster. Everybody was expecting tempo, so we got lined up faster. So really think we did a good job of executing that today.
Can you take me inside the film room and practice defensively this week? Who stood up? What was said, after Georgia Tech and then coming into today against Campbell?
Yeah, I think, last Sunday, Coach Chiz had a great speech to the defense. He got after us and made us understood the different things and the reasons why we kind of lost that game. But it was very uplifting at the same time. Just telling us that we're going to get back on track, we're going to figure it out, pointed the things out. But not only that, he actually had every defensive coach step up and just kind of talk to us and just kind of give us, whatever they had to say. And I think that really kind of, gave us some confidence and really settled us down as a defense, kind of preparing for the week.
Is that kind of a motivational kind of speeches, or were they X and O kind of things, or just motivational?
Yeah, the one I'm referring to was more of a motivational one, just kind of talking about, what happened from an emotional standpoint and different things like that, and how we just got to keep going and keeping our heads up and telling us we have everything still in front of us, our goals still in front of us. So it was a very motivating type speech.
On one of those early drives came out, it seemed like you got particularly frustrated. I can't remember what play it was, kind of pointing to your head. I think in reference of maybe one of the quarterback runs or something like that. Did you feel like early on some of those miscommunication errors you guys had these past 2 weeks kind of crept back? And did you feel like those kind of went away as the remainder of the game went on and you shut them out? What kind of changed, I guess, during that time?
Yeah, I think we kind of had a little bit of a moment on that drive, which is kind of why they were able to kind of get that long run. So I was just kind of, trying to encourage the guys on the sideline, get the call in quicker, different things like that. But like I said, we handled tempo very well today, very well. They were trying to do it as well, and we were able to stop it. So I'm proud of the way that we handled it throughout the day.
They were moving it a little bit there for a while. What was the difference in you guys just shutting it down? Because once you did, everything kind of opened up for you defensively. You guys started picking up sacks. There were a lot more more PBUs, that kind of thing.
Yeah, well, I think one of the big things that you kind of talk about as a defense, if you stop a certain play, stop a certain strategy, it will tend to go away. They'll stop trying to do it. And I think that's kind of what happened today. Early on in the game, they were trying to tempo, and like I said, this is something that we put big emphasis on, and I think it really got across to us this week. We were lining up fast, the call was getting in quick, and I think that was just part of the problem of why tempo was working before. We weren't lined up, we were confused on what our job was. Today, we weren't confused, and we were able to stop it, and as the game went on, they stopped going tempo.
So is it good for you guys that they came out and tried to replicate what Georgia Tech did, so you have a live first-hand opportunity to fix what didn't go right last week?
Yes. I definitely think we appreciated, them coming out and working the tempo against us, and for us to be able to handle it well. in a game like this and kind of moving forward throughout the rest of the season, because teams are still going to try it. Just because we stopped it, versus Campbell doesn't mean they're not going to stop trying it. So we got to be prepared for it for the rest of the season.
We saw a lot more. Go ahead. Yeah, we saw a lot more of Amari Campbell and Sebastian Cheeks today. What's kind of the next step for them as players like you depart, kind of taking that reign and kind of being, I guess, a more prominent part of that linebacker room moving forward in the next couple of years?
Yeah, I mean they're the next guys up. Obviously I'm planning on leaving after this year. I don't know what Power's plans are, but those guys got to step up, and I want to give a huge shout out to Amari Campbell. Since he's been here, he's been great for us. He's done all the right things. He's been improving and just an overall great player. And I'm calling it right now. Y'all going to see big things from him from years to come. Proud of Sebastian Cheeks. He's had injuries, had to deal with things, and he went in there today and handled himself very well today. So I'm proud of the young boys and proud of them, and continue to see their growth.
What about, just real quick, because you mentioned Campbell, what about his game kind of sticks out to you? I know that that's somebody you kind of, help develop and things like that, but what does he do well out there on the field to you?
Yeah, I mean, I think he just does a little bit everything well. I think one of the biggest things is that he understands football and understands what we're trying to do as a defense. He's a smart kid. He's a physical player. He'll go hit you. He can cover. He can do it all, like I said. And the more that he develops, the more that he gets feel and gets reps, he's going to be a great player for UNC.
Back to the most important thing for this defense is stopping the run. How would you rate y'all's performance in that today?
Yeah, I mean, other than the long QB run, I feel like we did a pretty good job today of stopping the run. It wasn't much yardage that they were getting today. So I think we handled that well today.
What were those conversations like throughout the week, talking about getting calls in quicker? Is that a conversation you have with, Gene from his perspective up in the booth, the guys who are signaling down? I guess what were those conversations like, and what differences were made throughout the week?
Yeah, well, I think basically what we did, we just kind of had a plan. Okay, here are the 3-4 plays we're going to run when they go tempo. It's going to be one of these 3-4 plays, and Chiz is going to relay it to the signalers quick. And not only that, but like I said, we talked about getting lined up fast and expecting tempo. And I think we got up, lined up fast, expecting it. Everybody's getting to their spots, getting there. We got the call in, and we were able to line up and handle it.
You talk about 3 or 4 plays. Is that something that wasn't necessarily put in place like before this week? Did you have maybe more options, and was that kind of creating some of the confusion?
Yeah, I don't think we kind of put a big emphasis. Okay, these are going to be the 3-4 plays we're going to run versus tempo, and I think when we did that this week, it was able to help us out.
How big were the punters?
Go ahead.
Thank you, Chipper. How big were the punter's eyes when you were bearing down? I mean, it looked like he was surveying and like.
I mean, in all honesty, my eyes got big because I was expecting him to, punt it, and then I seen him dropping back for a pass. So I'm like, all right, let me just tackle him. So I mean, I really wasn't even looking at his eyes. I was just like, why is he not punting the ball? But so.
I was going to ask you, going back to that Sunday meeting, was that the first time Coach Chiz has thought about it that way, the way he talked to you than the assistant coaches? Is that something different, or is that?
Yeah, I think it was the first time that he brought assistant coaches up to kind of speak to us. I don't remember another time he really did that after a loss. But I think, like I said, his just overall message and just letting everybody speak, I just felt like it was very uplifting and a message that just kind of brought everybody together as a defense.
Did you speak or any of the players?
No, none of the players speak. Yeah, it was just coaches.
In this punt situation,
That's 1%.
are you always on alert for a possible fake, or there's some tendencies that you guys know in advance they're going to be given? And you said you were totally surprised that they actually did it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always, on alert for punt, but, the particular, punt return play we had, and it was, kind of a block. We were trying to get after them. So obviously I was rushing and trying to block the punt. And like I said, he just had the ball back to him. Usually on our, punts that we're just trying to hold them up, that's when I'm, kind of the guy who's watching for the fakes and different things like that. But it was a play call where I was, called upon to go block the punt, so that's what I was trying to do.
It looked like you guys went after it a couple of times, more maybe than usual.
Yeah, that's actually something that, we actually talked about, the past few weeks is trying to block kicks, because I think for the first 6 games we didn't try to block kick at all. It was all hold up. So that was definitely something that we've been trying to do for the past 2 weeks.
All right. Thanks, Seth.
Appreciate it, Seth.
Through that Connor Hill touchdown, I saw you and JJ and Diego and some of the other guys kind of getting on him there and then just kind of taking through that moment.
Yeah, obviously super excited for him. He's put in a lot of work, a lot of reps. The play was kind of just a simple read that DN kind of triggered on the running back, and he just made a play with his legs, took it all the way. So super.
Lonnie was kind of telling you guys to get back. Is that an unsportsmanlike call that they're like, oh, I get it, like it's his first touchdown? Or is that something they're still kind of hard on you guys?
I think it's a little bit of both. I mean, obviously everyone's super excited for him, but we know in bigger games we can't do that. So.
With Connor Harrell's performance, what have you kind of seen from him behind the scenes, just kind of the way that his game has developed and progressed, throughout the season?
Yeah, he's developing real good. Taking the second team reps behind Drake, learning from Drake. He brings his own elements in some ways with his running ability. So I think he's on a great trajectory and he'll be a great player.
How much did you guys need to have a game like this that some people say you shouldn't play an FCS team this time of the year, but considering the previous 2 weeks, how much do you guys just need to sort of get a lot of morale back? And do you think you got a lot of that mojo back?
Yeah, for sure. We had a lot of energy today, a lot of energy on the sideline. I think this game was a good tune-up for the next 3 weeks. Got 3 big games coming up, so I think it was a good game to kind of get back into it.
How much can you get well in a game like this? How much can you get well, given that for the team collectively as a whole after losing 2 straight? How much can a game like this help you get well from a football standpoint, not just a morale standpoint?
Yeah, I mean it can do everything. We come into every week thinking to restart, and having a good offensive defensive week like this, really trends us upwards for the next couple weeks.
Bryson, take us from last week in Atlanta to Tez being down. I mean, it looks like that guy might be done for the year. To now he's in the end zone twice today.
Yeah.
Kind of the same Tez. Just take us how he went from there to here.
Yeah, speaks on his toughness. Obviously, took a big hit. He was in treatment all week. Good job to our training staff. Getting him back. But if he's able to play, he's going to play. So, good job from him.
Just kind of your reaction last week. I mean, just how, if you could even get a grasp, and I know you're in the middle of the game, but how serious did you think it was kind of at the time? Just in the moment? Yeah,
I mean, obviously I thought it was pretty serious, a scary hit, just seeing one of your guys down. But, he told us after that he was going to be okay, and, we all trusted him and trusted that he'll be back whenever he's able to. So,
What does Marion Hampton mean to this offense?
Yeah, he's a great player. I mean, we'll get in trouble sometimes, I may miss a block, somebody miss a block, and, he'll shrug him right off and go take it for 60 yards. So he's a special guy.
You said that 4-yard touchdown run might have been as gratifying as a long one.
Yeah, for sure.
He's pulled his way.
Yeah, got the whole offensive line around him, pushed him in. Great job. So.
Bryson, you've had 12 catches these past 3 games. Before that stretch, you had 11 on the year. What do you think has maybe led to your uptick in usage, and how much more comfortable do you feel in the system in the middle part of the season, maybe compared to the beginning of the year?
Yeah, definitely feel a lot more confident in the system. Feel a lot more confident with myself and my abilities. Feel like my blocking has improved, which is allowed me to go play slot or go play tight end. I think just being more consistent as a pass catcher and as a vertical threat.
Talking about playing a slot, is that something you played in high school as a tight end, or was that something more you kind of realized you could be a threat in once you got to college, understanding your measurables at the tight end position?
Yeah, in high school, I played wide receiver, a little bit of backfield, slot, so it was kind of normal. And then coming here, I was really able to fine tune all those skills, be able to play every spot.
How are the routes different in the slot? Is that something that's comfortable for you? That even though I'm sure they're different.
Yeah, a little different from outside and from tight end. That slot, you'll almost never have a guy pressed up on you, so I can really get my speed going and can get on the defender's toes. So I'm pretty comfortable with that part. And then at outside receiver, press, I'm a bigger receiver, so still be able to do my job at that side.
How does defense and y'all 4 turnovers? How does that help the offense click?
Yeah, defense did a great job. I think they gave up 7 points today. All those interceptions. I think we had a fumble recovery. 3 and outs. They just get the offense back on the field so we can go do our job. So definitely a great help.
What is your sense of these final 3 games that are coming? I mean, they've been out there for a long time now. Like, what is your sense of how ready you guys are, or how much more ready you need to get?
Yeah, everyone gets prepared. We always know that we can do better. At the end of the day, we know that we're playing against ourselves. We got to correct things from the previous weeks, and we can't make some of those mistakes we made today, these next couple weeks. So.
Dean Smith got in there and got himself a catch. What was it like, seeing him kind of get a little bit involved?
Yeah, that was awesome. He's put in so much work here. He's in every meeting, every lift, just working his butt off. So proud of him.
Bryce, would next week be your final home game, or is that something you haven't thought about?
Haven't really thought about it that much. Just really focus on just becoming a better player and getting these next couple wins. So.
Fair enough.
Stir it up.
Well, just check. I didn't know when we'd see him again.
Appreciate it.